All right, welcome back to the Elias Macco Show. Now, in transit today, it really is action-packed, and we will get to our traffic court segment coming up. So our phone lines are open, by the way, 514-790-0800. If you want to get on the docket for traffic court today and you want to beat the rush, give me a call now, 514-790-0800, looking for your ticket stories. But here is how we are going to begin. Now, it's a story that does have to deal with crime and your vehicles. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we've been doing this show for 7 years. It was about 6 years ago that our next guest was on the program. And she was on the show because she was visiting family in the city and her car was stolen from her family member's driveway. And she came on, gave us the story. Over the years, since then, we've told story after story. I recall it was just maybe 1 or 2 months ago, a couple that had done a big North American road trip. I believe they were from Boston. And one of their last stops was Montreal. What happens when they stopped in the old port? Their car was stolen. Tourists getting their car stolen in the city, it's just a story that keeps happening. So let's welcome back Mary Chin onto the program. Mary, it's been a long time. I imagine you never wanted to come back on this show.
Elias, I was going to say good morning, and please don't take this personally, but I never, ever wanted to be on your show twice.
Oh, Mary, I feel for you so much, Mary. When I heard about what happened to you again this week, I said, this is unbelievable. Let's go back 6 years ago. Just give us the Coles notes for our listeners here. What happened to you in Montreal 6 years ago?
Yeah, we, parked our car for the holiday weekend. It's a holiday weekend in the States over Thanksgiving weekend in Canada. We have these pesky family members who we love, and a tradition that we've built over 15 years of making sure that we spend Thanksgiving with them together. We woke up the first morning that we were there, and the car wasn't in the driveway, and we were completely befuddled. Could not figure out what was going on, looking for broken glass, thought it was a prank. The car was just missing. And that's when we learned about this whole key fob cloning. And we thought, oh my gosh, we're just so ignorant and naive. And we took steps to make sure that we never got our key fob cloned again by putting them in what's called an RFID blocking Faraday box.
So you learned from what happens. And by the way,
We sure did.
Your car disappeared. You never got it back?
No, never got it back.
Okay.
Never.
So poof into the night, you've lost one car. Okay. So I imagine you've come back over the years, like to visit the family, or is this the first time in 6?
We have, absolutely. Yeah. Again, I mentioned, if we didn't love them so much, we would just cancel the age-old tradition. But we have in the past driven a rental car. Just because we have a little bit of, lasting trauma. We never wanted to bring our own vehicles. But 6 years later, I actually said the words to my husband, I think it's time we got back on the horse. Let's not spend the money to rent a car. We have a perfectly good car. Let's just do it. And let's take precautions. Obviously, we've learned. Let's use the Faraday box. I'm going to go old school and go out and buy a club from the 2000s. I used to live in Philadelphia, and I used a club every time I parked my car.
Mary, you bought a club just for Montreal?
That's right. That's right.
Okay. All right. So, I was going to do the whole thing, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, right? But you're coming back. You take precautions. Yep. You park your car, same family member, right? So what happened this week to you, Mary? What happened? With all the precautions, what happened to you this time?
So we woke up on Saturday morning with glee, the car was there. We woke up on Sunday morning with glee, the car was there. And then at 3:30 in the morning, Monday morning, the car alarm was going off.
Oh, boy.
And again, in a bewildered state, ran out, saw a hooded figure walking away from the car, and very quickly assessed that the back window had been shattered. The glove compartment had been removed, tooled out and removed, and they had cut through the steering wheel to just lift off the club from the steering wheel and put it on the passenger seat.
And I saw a photo of this, right? So they literally, it looks like they sawed through the steering wheel and got the club off.
It must have been a power tool.
Okay, yeah. Geez. Okay, so what happened? The hooded figure, right? They run off.
Figure.
What's your interaction with this person?
I didn't have my, I mean, I have to be honest. I watch a lot of true crime shows, and I really thought this would be my big moment as a witness. And I actually have nothing. I didn't have my glasses on. I was standing barefoot in the street in total disbelief. All I saw was a light colored hooded figure walking away, not running.
Yeah.
So I'm obviously not that scary. Um, and then a getaway car came up and picked him up and drove off.
Okay, I got to ask you, and maybe what type of vehicle are we talking about here? Because I think it's important to note. Sometimes we hear common brands over and over in these stories. What kind of car was it this time?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a Toyota
Mm.
Grand Highlander. So
It's so wanted in all the hot spots around the world to take our stolen cars. Those
I guess
Toyotas.
I don't know why everyone wants to steal things I have. They passed, I think, a Porsche and a Tesla and a Mercedes. I mean, this is not the glitziest, nicest car on the block. This is
Wow.
just, I think, good old reliable Toyota.
Okay, so at least the car's still there, right? Like, what was the state of your car?
Undrivable. It died a slow death as the battery went down. It yeah. So it's funny when you ask. It's like now I have this crazy perspective of having to be able to compare whether not having a car is better than having a totaled undrivable car.
So it
Um,
was like as they were trying. I guess they were trying to hotwire the car. They were trying to get it started. They
yeah.
made it. They ruined the vehicle so it could not be driven.
Well, it can't be driven by an untrained theft, I guess. I don't know if they thought they could drive it or not. I think I mean, the car was running, and the police said that they were about 30 seconds from driving it over the lawn because our third precaution that we took was to park a vehicle right behind the car so it couldn't just be easily backed out and driven away.
So you you
Um,
you boxed in the car. You took even more
Boxed in.
precautions.
That's right.
Oh
That's
my
right.
God, Mary, do you have enemies in Montreal? I mean, like I'm just trying
I
to.
don't think so. I really, it's so sad because it's so expensive and it's such a
Oh,
beautiful city, and we were having such an amazing time. And it's just, I hear lots of stories about this, and it's just something that I wish could not be
jeez.
a part of Montreal.
How did you get your car back to your home in the U.S.?
Well, 6 years ago, we talked about how difficult it was to get home
Mm-hmm.
by renting a car across state international border, which you can't do. It's also extremely difficult to tow a car across an international border. We use, American Automobile Association, AAA in the States, and you all have CAA.
Yep.
And we had to have CAA tow it to the border. But CAA dropped it on the Canadian side of the border. And then once we got there, we called AAA because you can't pre-arrange a pickup. You have to call when you're there.
Uh-huh.
So we called and we said, we're here. We're at the border on the Canadian side. And AAA said, nope, we cannot cross the border.
Oh
You
my
are stranded.
God. Oh my
And I
God.
had a little meltdown. Somebody's going to have to cross the border at some point to get this car home.
So okay, well, so CA won't cross the border. AAA won't cross the border.
Correct.
How'd you get the car across the border?
Well, it's a hero story, actually. AAA had dispatched all of my information to some local Vermont tow stations or tow companies, and then it came through as canceled. And I have to say, Carl Stone of Stone's Towing, shout out, St. Albans, Vermont, called my cell phone directly and said, "Can you tell me a little bit more about your situation?" And I said, I'm losing my mind. I'm having a meltdown in customs. I'm here at this counter. I'm feeling stranded. And he said, I have an accredited driver who is getting in his tow truck now. He's going to come over, pick up your car. We're not dealing with any of these agencies. This is just our family tow company taking care of the stranded traveler.
Wow.
So Justin from Stones showed up like the cavalry, loaded up the car. We got back through customs. They left it at their lot overnight and then drove it down to Massachusetts the next day.
Well, at least you get the
True
car
hero
there. And,
story.
and how much does it cost to fix the car? Have you fixed the car yet? How much is that going to cost?
I mean, I don't know. I don't. It's going to be fairly significant simply because there's been so much damage to that entire steering column. I don't know how much it's going to be cost to fix it. I'm hoping that, insurance comes through if, just after a deductible. It's extremely expensive to have two tows, up to 300 to 400 miles on a holiday. So
oh boy,
we're dealing with that.
Mary, Listen, I feel for you. I guess it's flying from now on for you, isn't it?
Well, I appreciate that you have respected that we are looking at other options. Unfortunately, Thanksgiving weekend, Air Canada prices skyrocket.
Oh boy, yeah, you're right.
So we've looked into maybe an Amtrak, or I don't know, maybe we'll just hike across the border this year.
Mary, you're a kind, hearted soul. I can tell over the phone line. The listeners are feeling for you. I just hope this never happens to you again.
I sure hope so, too, because you know what? Do you remember when I said to my husband, let's just get back on the horse?
Yeah.
He is now taking great pleasure in saying, I told you so.
It's a crime. I told you so. Mary Chin, I hope I never talk to you again, ever.
I never want to speak to you again, Elias.
Take care, Mary.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Mary Chin, another victim of car theft or attempted car theft in this city, and an absolute gem, as you can hear on that line.
I'm Dylan Playfair.
And I'm Tyler Smith.
We're putting loneliness in the penalty box by talking to some of our favorite athletes about the importance of friendship.
This is Bromance.
Bromance is brought to you by Charm Diamond Centers, proudly Canadian-owned and operated. Charm has been part of your love stories and bromances for over 50 years. And you can find Bromance on the iHeartRadio network or wherever you get your podcasts.